Hello, my name is Carolyn Sizemore, and my presentation is on fast fashion. What is fast fashion? Fast fashion is the rapid production of cheap clothing. It is quickly updating, imitating the newest trends and styles, and encourages frequent customer purchases due to the quality and longevity of styles. Why is the high volume of clothes created an issue? Zara manufactures more than 450 million items annually and introduces 500 new designs each week. On average, clothes are thrown away after wearing them 7 to 8 times only. With such a high amount of clothes being made and destined to only be worn a few times, we have created a surefire ticking bomb. How fast fashion is impacting the environment. From each stage of its lifestyle, it produces pollution, but most significantly during the manufacturing process. The garment and textile sector presents a substantial challenge, contributing 10% of global emissions and totaling around 1.7 billion tons of carbon emissions annually. More issues fast fashion has caused the environment. The textile industry uses over 15,000 different chemicals during the manufacturing process, beginning during fiber production. In the environment, agrochemicals leach into the soil where they can cause a decrease in soil biodiversity and fertility, interrupt biological processes, and destroy microorganisms, plants, and insects. Furthermore, the industry is responsible for approximately 93 billion cubic meters of textile dyeing wastewater and nearly 20% of global wastewater total, as reported by the UN Environment Program. Fast fashion and its exploitation of workers. As most manufacturing is done in the southern hemisphere, workers have very few protections against their companies due to their country's laws. Brands often pressure suppliers to keep the production costs low so they can sell trending clothes quickly for a profit. This causes suppliers to limit wages for garment workers even when countries have minimum wage laws. In Bangladesh, a garment worker's average wage is about $94 a month. Why fast fashion can still be worthwhile. The industry has brought a wave of fashion that is accessible to people of all financial backgrounds. It has also served people who have a niche fashion, as beforehand it was not guaranteed to find a piece fitting their style. Now, you can be guaranteed to fill your whole closet with the style you prefer and change it out without gouging your pocketbook. Another positive of fast fashion. Fast fashion is also responsible for encouraging economic growth in developing countries. Fast fashion supports global job creation, especially in developing countries where garment production offers employment opportunities. Particularly in the economic sphere, fast fashion allows for lower per unit costs and globalization, which can improve the circumstances of country civilians to which the production was outsourced. What companies can gain from implementing sustainable methods. A report by the Global Fashion Agenda and the Boston Consulting Group found that addressing environmental and social problems created by the fashion industry would provide a $192 billion overall benefit to the global economy by 2030. With such an economic benefit that could be achieved, it's easy to see why we should start implementing sustainable methods. What companies have started to implement. Zara specifically committed to reducing their emissions by half in 2030. What's more, they've started a Join Life program in which they've launched a service for customers, letting them be able to repair, resell, and donate old clothing. These kind of compromises are the ones we should be striving for, as it helps environmentally and also gives consumers a way to keep clothes around longer before throwing them away. What we can do as consumers. To lead a more sustainable life, we as consumers can start by purchasing our clothes secondhand, like at thrift stores. What's better is if you can start going to local thrift stores to stimulate your local economy. The bottom line is we need to slow down our purchases of new clothes, as there is a guarantee from all the clothes we've made you will find what you're looking for secondhand. Conclusion. If we want our environment to survive and thrive for our future and our children's future, we need to make a change. Though fast fashion at its current state is accessible and affordable, the downsides of sustainability and exploitation of workers needs to be addressed. We can still have fast fashion and it be beneficial, but we need to focus on these companies pursuing more sustainable practices, as well as giving fairer wages and hours to these workers. Even though fast fashion is a great way to find any style of clothing you would like, the way the clothing is being made calls for a change. And here is my works cited, and here is the second page. Have a good day.